I know this isn't my podcast, but I want to ask you, is there something that you see that's the point of differentiation between people who have an amicable divorce and then people who...
It's such a good question. I would say fear.
Yes.
So I would say that when people have, all emotions for the most part come from the core, from some level of fears that we
Sure.
have. And Tara Brach, who, if you meditate, you probably know her work around mindfulness, but she talks about fear and how fear shows up in different emotions. She has this visual of this like animal with lots of different heads. So, if you are sitting a lot with financial fear, the immediate feeling is you're feeling the fear of the financial insecurity. You don't know how you're going to support yourself. You've been a stay-at-home parent for X amount of time. How am I going to live my life moving forward? And you immediately go hire the lawyer to get you what you want because you believe that like there's going to be issues with getting what you want. So that is one place that people immediately go to I'm not going to be able to support myself and therefore I need to go hire the heavy hitter lawyer. At the end of the day, every dollar you give to your attorney is one less dollar that you're going to be able to get yourself. So people need to be thinking twice around that. So I think fear really does come and thing. And then the second part is infidelity, or I think that when somebody feels wronged, they believe that the courtroom is going to be the place by which they're going to be able to stick it to them. And they're just wrong because most states, almost all states, are no fault. And so it doesn't really get you anymore by pulling all that emotion into your legal negotiation. So I would say that those are the two kind of bigger places that I see people not being able to function amicably. And then, obviously, if there's some sort of substance abuse or physical abuse, I don't deal with at all. I always refer out to that. People have to get to safety. People need to make sure that their children are safe. But if people can work on themselves, understand that with courage, they can be whatever they want to be, even if they haven't worked for 15, like it doesn't mean they have no skills. And so I work with people on being able to figure out what those skills are so they can get back into the workplace. It might not be something you put a resume together, but if you've cared for an elderly parent, guess what? You can be a care consultant. If you have a special needs child, guess what? You can support other families that have special need children. There's so much entrepreneurial stuff that people can do. If you love babies, guess what? You can be a nanny.
Yeah,
so
sure.
There's so many great ways that people can make money that they just kind of don't think about. So that, to kind of answer your question.
I love that you've just said that, because that fear piece is like, it's a juggernaut for almost everybody. And I really love the way you just articulated, like, your skills are transferable. When I was thinking about leaving the radio and television career, it was like, I'm going to be fine. I've learned so much over the last 27 years that I'll be useful to just about anybody that'll have me. And, that we all have that, because like you said, it doesn't have to be some corporate job where you had a 20-year career and they gave you the gold watch. Could be just you were the stay-at-home parent. But think about all the skills you have. Oh my God, you're organized, and you can follow a schedule, and you can plan. And that is not something everybody can do.
Yeah. And there's so many like shared economies now, whether you could be a personal shopper, you can be an Uber driver, you could, deliver food for Grubhub. There's so many things that people can do these days that are make your own hours, because people are like, oh, I can't go get a job because I've got kids. You know what? That's just an excuse. That's playing victim to your own circumstance. And there's plenty of things out there that you can do. You just have to change the mindset of I can't to I can and I will. And that's something that we teach. I can and I will. And if you wake up every morning and you say to yourself, I can and I will, you will be on the right path to moving your life forward, starting a new chapter. Get excited about a new chapter. I always say divorce is not about failure. It is about personal growth and self-discovery.
100%.
You can flip the switch on that, and you can continue to have that script in your mind, especially men that I taught to. They really get stuck on this idea of failure. And
I've got a friend dealing with that right now. He needs to jump out of that space, but he still sees himself as a disappointment. And it's one of those things that we talk about a lot together. It's, man, you didn't fail. Like, the relationship just ended.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from it? How do you want to move forward? It gets back to what I was saying a second ago about we carry this stuff and we carry it with us everywhere we go. And one of my favorite things that I get to do now, Tania, is I speak in juvenile detention centers. And so I go and I speak to teenage inmates. And I love this work for a lot of reasons. But one of the things that I love to do in my sessions is I don't know, have you ever been to prison before?
I have not been to
Okay.
prison.
So in every cell block, there is this 5-gallon water jug that the folks can go and fill up these small little cups and take a drink of water. And I go and I grab this 5-gallon drum and it's filled with water and it's really heavy. And I just hold it in front of them. And I say, this represents all the baggage that we are holding on to in our entire lives. And how far am I going to go if I just keep carrying this bucket with me everywhere? And so then it lends itself to a great conversation. And what we say is like, how do we make room for new experiences? How do we make room for the newness? We have to dump some of the water out. We have to empty that vessel so that we can put more into it. And that's how I want people to start thinking about their lives. Like, don't look at it like your life is over or everything you knew is gone. You're just flipping the page. You're just going to the next chapter. Like, we've all seen a movie before where there's a terrible scene and too many of us just hit pause and we think like that's our whole life. It's not, man. It's going to keep going. You're going to have new chapters. You're going to have new experiences if you let yourself, right? That's the key. You have to dump out the water. You have to make the space for that. And then when you do, it's my opinion that life rewards you for those things. I was just listening to a great podcast the other day with Woody Harrelson and Ted Danson. Remember those guys from Cheers?
Yeah.
And Woody said something so amazing, man. He said, when I was coming up, every time I would get fired from a job, I would take myself out to dinner that night and celebrate because I knew something brand new was coming.
Oh, I love that.
That's such a great way to think about it. It's like, it's not a disaster. It's not over. It's a new beginning. And to get back to yours, that's maybe where the fear comes in, right? Because it's a little unknown.